Hi y'all, my name is Melanie. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel, Southern Belle Makeup. And I've been wanting to do YouTube for such a long time. I absolutely love makeup. I love being able to try it. I love being able to put it on. I love how it makes me feel and look, and just actually doing my makeup is a good experience for me. And I'm wanting to share my experience with makeup with YouTube and everyone here on it. Today, so here is my naked face. You can definitely see I have a little bit of rosacea going on my cheeks, across my nose, definitely dark circles and a little puffiness. And then I do have some acne. Well, really acne spots, because I pick and I know you're not supposed to. It happens. Let's move on. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to talk about are the primers. I have 4 of the ones they offer. I believe they offer like 6, maybe. Because I have the illuminating one, there's also a few color correcting ones. But this one's kind of a little peachy almost. There we go. Now you can kind of see the peachiness of it. And then I have the mattifying one, so mattifying, illuminating. And then I have the poreless primer and the perfecting blur primer. So you can, these look almost the same, but this one does have a little bit of glitter there. Now the cool thing with these two is they look like they would be very silicone-y, and when you first applying it, they do kind of feel a little silicone-y, but then they turn into this runny, tacky primer, which is not bad, especially for poreless or blurring primers. The poreless one, you definitely, if you have really big pores, that would be better for that. And the blurring primer is just if you have like small to medium pores, I believe. So far, that's the only difference I can really come across besides the glitter in that one. Now I do also want to show you something, because as you know, with all this AOA Studio, most of it is only $1 each. So all these primers that I received are only $1. I didn't receive them, I actually bought them. All the ones I bought were $1 each. So I want to show you something. I'm just unscrewing the cap of this one, because I want to kind of zoom in here and show you. That is so bad, isn't it? But if I keep the cap on, it keeps it, you know, and if I tighten it down, there's not, like, the cap is on there really tight to where no air is getting in there, so it keeps it good. But I don't use the top little nozzle for this one. I have to use that like big crack in the side, and I have to store it like this, just to make sure that nothing's getting out of it. But I've only had it happen to that one. Oh, and I didn't talk about the mattifying and the illuminating, my bad. The mattifying one, you will like this if you like the Benefit Professional. It has almost the same consistency, and it feels almost the same, where as soon as you put it on, it makes it feel so smooth, and yet it's not tacky. It just makes it kind of feel smooth, and it's supposed to help with like oil shine. You can see from like the lights, I have very big forehead, so I have a lot of shine going on there. The illuminating one is just that, like, I want to show you this one. It is so, like, it's very runny too. So just take that off the top there, and I'm gonna just on the back of my hand, and I mean, you can kind of, yeah, there we go. You see that right there. So I want to show you, I want to use kind of a combination of these to just show you different ways they look on your face. So the mattifying, I definitely am going to use across the forehead. We don't want all that shine to be there. I'm just taking a little bit. That's all I need. And I'm getting that in there. Okay. So there we go. Alrighty, so we got my mattifying across the forehead. Now I'm going to use my illuminating. Look at that. I would sit down sideways too. It's just so runny. But I haven't, because the lid does tighten down, so well. I haven't had any actually escape the lid, so that's awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this one kind of on the outskirts of my cheek, because the middle I want the perfecting, or the poreless, sorry. So this one we're just doing on the side over here, and look at that. It kind of almost already looks like I put, especially like look at the forehead, you see it's shiny, but look at that right there. It wasn't like that just a minute ago. This is so, I mean, illuminating. If you want to glow from within, that's the stuff. And we're going to take this poreless, and I'm going to do it across my nose and about to here on the cheeks, because I have really, really big pores. And like I said, it does get to this consistency of where it's runny. But now it's like, it's tacky already. And then I'm going to put the perfecting blur just basically on this much of my face. And I'll show you this little guy coming out right here. But I do like the primer itself. Okay, so we just did like a primer cocktail right there. And this is very tacky, so is this still. This is, like I said, very smoothing. This is very smooth as well. Like I said, they are very different though, so it really goes on what you need. I like for this perfecting blur, if you have really big pores and that's your main concern, just go ahead and get the poreless one. They, like I said, same consistency, same feel in the face. This one just helps, is like almost a little thicker than this one. This one does have that little glitter in it. I really enjoy them, but you don't need both. You don't need both of these. If you like illuminating primers, I mean, this is great. Great. And this one is just like it is. It's mattifying and it makes your skin just feel smooth. So they are all really, okay. So now when we're talking about the AOA, they don't have foundation. They have BB cream. The Perfect BB cream, or Perfect BB cream. I have it in light and tan, because when I am tan in the summer, tan is what I need to use. And I have gotten white enough to where I just use the light, but as of right now I can just mix these two, and it's a great deal. This is $1. It's not going to break me to buy 2 of these to get the shade I need. That's double the product. That's fine. They do not have that many shades, so if the darkest one I don't think goes that dark, but if you are lighter skin, then you may have to get 2 to mix in. I have a little plate here. I'm able to mix my foundation right there. So I am wearing my headband right now. It did come from the Shop Miss A website as well, so I wanted to get like all Shop Miss A basically. Because that's where AOA Studio definitely originates. There we go. Originates. AOA Studio. So I also have their sponge, which we will talk about at a later video. But I am going to use that today to apply the BB cream. The BB cream is exactly what it is. It is a BB cream, so it is definitely not full coverage. Don't expect full coverage when you are using it. And that's one thing that I don't see a lot of people on YouTube doing. Get your ears. If you don't know if you haven't made, you know, the perfect shade, go ahead and get like your earlobe and things like that. Just because of the fact that if you're going to show your ears, you need to make sure you have your earlobe done. And yes, you do have to wash that still. Since this is my very first like series on YouTube and my first video, I do want to eventually do a get to know me, because I know that once I get further into this and have more, that's something that people are gonna have questions on. Okay. Looking good. It does take a minute for it to dry down, so keep that in mind as well, but that also gives you time to work with it. So I enjoy that it takes a little bit longer time to dry. And it does layer, that's the word. It does layer very well. And every time I wear this, people always comment that they love my makeup that day. They love my skin. I love how big this gets, and it's like just so bam. Okay, I need to build it up on my chin a little bit more. Okay, and now I just need to blend it down my neck. Okay, so here we are. I feel like I got that blended pretty well. I like the way it looks. You can still see my skin, but it's just like a better version. Now, we've got the BB cream on, we got our primers on. Now we're into the concealers, because honey, you saw my under eye situation. Yep, we gotta have those concealers. So let's go ahead and get those. They are the Wonder Cover concealers. This one is the wrong shade. When I do have a tan, I like to use this one to mix in with Classic Ivory, because these two mixed make my perfect shade when I do have a tan. I do not have a tan, that much of a tan right now, so put that down. At my whitest, I normally take Classic Ivory and mix it with a Porcelain, and that's good. Right now, that's not the case either. So I'm just going to use a Classic Ivory, which has a little bit of a pinky tone. And these do dry very quickly, so I do one eye at a time. I love the faces you make when you're doing makeup. And that's, I mean, you can see the difference right there. Now it also looks a little too light. And then I am going to just take this over my eyelid. I may add some eyelid primer as well, but for right now. There we go. So you can see the difference it makes. Like I said, it does dry down fairly quickly, so I am going to be setting this one while doing the other one as well. I am using the AOA Studio Perfect setting powder. They have multiple colors. They have translucent, which has glitter in it, so beware. Matte translucent, which this is what that is. And then they have brightening, which is like the pinky tone. And then they also have soft light, which you can tell I've used a lot of. This is almost like a very pale banana. I'm going to be using that one. Got a little mirror here. Okay, I will also let you know that these definitely do have a flashback. You can kind of tell with the light right now on the camera. There's definitely a flashback. There's no going around that. There is a flashback with these. So you do need to be prepared for that. But the concealer itself and the powder, you'll notice that I'm using a powder puff to do this with, not a wet sponge. I do like using a wet sponge to do my powder with sometimes, but this powder does not go well with a wet sponge. I have tried it. It ends up clinging weird in different areas. No matter what concealer you use, it doesn't look good. Now let's go ahead and do the other eye. There we are. And here's my sponge. Take this and blend again. I like to go up the side of my nose just a little bit because I do got a nice big nose there. And I'm not saying that to be like bad or mean to myself. So just so y'all know, it's just, that's what it is. The size of my nose is rather large. So I like how that is looking so far. Now let's go ahead and take the powder and set this eye. Okay. There we are. I mean, I like the way this looks. Look here. It looks very smooth, looks very covered. My dark circles are very much looking better. They're not as intense by any means whatsoever. I messed up. Hold on here. There we go. Whew. Well, I guess this is definitely going to take some practice. I still hope people enjoy this video because I believe it has a lot of good information about the AOA brand, just some different information about it. That way you can buy what you need, because even though everything is just $1, you don't want to overspend. And you notice I didn't add any more on my chin. I just took what was left on the sponge and used that. And I am going to use the setting powder to go over my forehead and my nose as well. And really press that into the skin. I'm so nervous about this one. I haven't even tried it. So I have a few other colors here. I have beige, almond, and nude. I think the nude is definitely going to be my shade right now. So we're going to go with it. And I am using the AOA Studio brushes as well. So they have quite a few different brush sets. Again, we will go over that in a different video. And I'm just taking this and packing it onto the skin. And this is going to add a little bit of coverage too, especially to that BB cream that we just used. If you want it to look like a BB cream though, you don't have to use this particular powder. But I know that some powders don't really add coverage, but because this one does, I wanted to make sure it was something you knew. And I am going to go back over my chin with this powder. So I go with packing motions, and then I go in with like swirly motions. And I do take powder down my neck too, because this BB cream is very shiny and doesn't set that well by itself. You definitely do need powder to help with that. And then I like to take the brush and do this under my eyes, not adding more powder to it, just whatever is on the brush stroke. There we go. That'll wrap up my very first video, really. This is the base. It looks really nice. I enjoy it. And like I said, every time I wear this, I always know that it's gonna be a good skin day. So, I hope you enjoyed watching me play with the face products and my opinions on the products themselves. I just want to recap really quick, just because I know with me putting it on, it can be a little distracting at times. So I want to go over just the products. We're going to start with the primers. These two, the Perfecting Blur Primer and the Poreless Primer, you don't need both. They perform very similarly. This one is for about larger pores, but it does work on small pores as well. The glitter on this one does not show up though. So, and then the mattifying primer is a lot like Benefit Professional, and then the illuminating power primer is very, very illuminating. If you want to glow from within, I did use that one over here, but now that I have my makeup on, you really can't see it all that much anymore. But it does, if you wanted to wear that for like a no makeup day, I think this would be amazing. I didn't say that earlier, but now that I'm thinking a little bit more about it, this would be amazing for a no makeup day, but you wanted just a little bit of something, like a little bit of coverage. You can do that on your under eye, then just put this on your cheeks and you'll be good. Okay, now the BB cream. I love the BB cream. I like to mix light and tan. So definitely if you need to make a cocktail, it's only $2. Not bad at all. I always have good skin days with this. It wears all day. I never have a problem with it. This is very reliable for me. I am oily to combo skin. I definitely get a lot of oil in my T-zone for sure. Not really dry skin, really oily to combo kind of, because there are some products that can dry my skin out very much, because I do have sensitive skin, but more oily. Then also we talked about the primer. These are not primers, these are concealers. The concealers, again, these are not very full coverage, but they do the job. There's no creasing or anything. It works good. My eyes don't look near as dark as they did look. So like I said, these are okay for more of a no makeup kind of day, or if you want that less full coverage effect. Again, online doesn't show the colors that well, so definitely you may need to buy multiple. The setting powders I really enjoy. They definitely do flashback though, so keep that in mind, especially for cameras, pictures, flashback, whew, very much so. The matte translucent and the soft light are the one, this one I like it the most, just I don't know why, I just do. And it definitely has that flashback, so does the matte one. The brightening one has a little bit less. It's the more pinky tone out of them, so all of these, I really enjoy these. Do not use a wet sponge to apply these. Use a brush or a puff. Then we also talked about the pressed powders. I haven't really used this one just because I am scared, because it says translucent, but I'm supposed to use this all over my face and it's white. Still scared about this one though. The actual face powders, when I put them on my face, I really enjoy them all over the face though. They hold back the oils and they work very well for me. So I do enjoy these. Again, I like to press them, and then after I press it all over my face, then I like to swirl it to make sure everything got powder on them. But again, the color online doesn't do it justice, so you may have to buy multiple. So all the face products that we tried today, none of them were really a bust. The only thing that I'm not in love with is the concealer, just because you saw I have very, very dark underlies, and you can still see it right here. And I would really like to be able to just cover all of that up. So if they were more full coverage, I would give them a 10 out of 10. Right now, they're only about a 6, 7 out of 10, just because they aren't as full coverage as I personally like. They're not bad though. They work fine. Those are just the only ones that I'm like, but everything else I really enjoy. So I really hope that you enjoyed hearing my opinion on these products, and I hope it helps you pick out what you're wanting to get for your face. And I thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.